Mulu fever grips 27,000 enthusiastic Waikato supporters gathered at Rugby Park, Hamilton to see the opening game of the Springbok tour. Outside, thousands are unable to gain admittance to the jam-packed ground, where people are sitting, standing and perching on every vantage point. Blockbuster and blockbeater Mulu parades, and Waikato morale is at bursting point as the teams file onto the ground. Dame Hilda Ross, Cabinet Minister and Member of Parliament for the district, meets the two teams. Hurry it up, Hilda, the crowd roar. The game is on. Waikato scream down the paddock. Brunskill catches Buchler in possession. Nola and Ian Clarke right up with him to lead the Waikato forwards into the fray. Back comes the ball to Reid. He passes out to McDonald. Waikato are over. 3 points up in as many minutes. Clarke's kick misses, but the crowd's in an uproar as Howe kicks off. Nell flies like a comet onto the Waikato defence with Preez outside him. But Nell knocks it on and the ref calls a scrum. Seconds later, Buchler has an unsuccessful penalty kick. Waikato don't find the line with their return. Vollenhoven tries a pot. Cowley tries to clear, but he can't find the line. Buchler sends it back into touch about the 25. Still 3-0. Players in the centre of the paddock with both sets of backs standing well up. The ball comes loose and Vollenhoven makes a break, but Carrington is there to stop him. Howe is caught with a rolling ball, and Waikato's deadly forwards, led by Grant and Hayes, with Reid joining in, sweep down the field before the ball goes into touch. Preez throws in, and from the ruck, the ball goes back to Nell. The South African backs get away. The ball goes from Rosenberg to Vollenhoven, but he fumbles and the ref calls them back. After 22 minutes play, Clarke plots a beautiful goal, and Waikato are 6 points up. Howe kicks off again, and the Springboks throw themselves into it, and especially into Ian Clarke. From the ruck, the Waikato forwards get the ball back to Reid. The Boks are onto him. Again, Reid gets it, and out it goes to Bullick, onto McDonald, but Vollenhoven forces him out of the touch. From rolling play, Lochner fends off a high tackle by Carrington, gets the ball away to his backs. Along the line it goes to Preez, who kicks it forward as Clarke tumbles over him. The ball goes back to Gentles, to Howe. The Waikato backs are up on him, and he passes infield to Lochner, who lobs a high pass out to Nell. From Nell onto Howe again. And just watch Vollenhoven streak down that sideline, but Clarke calmly clears. Bullick, master tactician, stab kicks through, racing up to catch Lochner in possession. But halfway through the first spell, Bullick has to leave the field with concussion and a broken cheekbone. Buchler is caught in possession. Waikato presses on the goal line. From the ruck, Gentles is also caught by the busting Waikato forwards. The Africans make for the open, but Reid goes on the blind, sending Pickering over in the corner. Clarke converts, bringing the score to Waikato 11, South Africa 0. In the scrums, Waikato, with only 7 men, are breaking even. And in this scrum, Hemi manages to get yet another tight hit. Away goes Reid, but his ballooning pass is smothered by Rosenberg, and Pickard goes into the loose and is kicked into touch. Lochner is penalised in a line-out, and Clarke has a go, 10 yards in from touch and about 30 yards out. 14-0. 14 ahead, only 14 men on the field, and Waikato first by the ground with a few minutes to go in the first spell. The Bulls are in full drive and rush down, catching one man after the other. Points ahead at half-time. Better than the most Mulu supporter ever dreamed. and Mulu mania seizes the spectators. Have the Springboks ever felt like this before? First thrill of the second half comes when South Africa strikes back, and the Springbok back line shows some of their traditional sparkle. From Howe to Nel to Van Vollenhoven, but with the line clear, he fails to take the pass. In the lineouts and scrums, 8 Springboks to 7 Mulus, and the forward struggle is rugged. A penalty to South Africa. Van Vollenhoven follows up fast, but Clarke neatly sidesteps him and finds touch. Nel breaks through a tackle, unloads to Howe, who jinks his way up to Clarke, then sends it on to Van Vollenhoven, who shoots across in the corner. To get a run back for the kick, Pickard asks the school children to shift from the sideline. There he goes, and it's a beauty. Waikato 14, South Africa 5. How's this for winning forward play? Retief seizes the ball but doesn't get very far with it. Waikato are playing the tight defensive game they're famous for. The ball goes through the Springbok back line. Van Vollenhoven to Nel and out to Preez, who runs around and touches down under the crossbar. With 10 minutes left to play, Pickard converts and the score is Waikato 14, South Africa 10. Now 10 minutes to play. Can the 14 Waikato stalwarts hold the reviving Springboks at bay? The crowd grows silent. Another dangerous back movement. Van Vollenhoven has it, but Clarke gets him ball and all in a smothered tackle. Just before time, South Africa sends the ball down in front of the Waikato goal line, but Clarke, playing a game, finds touch. A last line out. And it's time. Waikato have won, making rugby history. The Springboks defeated in their first game in New Zealand by the redoubtable Mulu Stalwarts. Oh, what a hullabaloo. In a tumult of excitement, the heroes of the game and the coach together are carried off the field. Springbok captain Pickering has no ill feeling for the Hulu. At the reception afterwards, Coach Danny Craven says the better side won. Waikato took their chances, the Springboks didn't. Captain Pickering presents the Waikato coach together with the great trophy. Waikato get a 4-point victory and win the Springbok head in a sensational upset.